Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well out there. I wanted to share a channeled message that I think will be very pivotal for, I'm hearing, all the divine feminines out there, but really for anyone in the collective that resonates with this message. I recently posted a video on my Insta story, but also on TikTok, so if you haven't seen it already, go find me at Door to Value. It's the newest pinned talk, okay? I am very amazed at how this video kind of, what I call blowing up for me, it did blow up a little bit, and I got over 200 testimonies of people identifying with this message. So we are going to dive in a little bit because I was guided to share a little bit more about what's happening here with this particular timeline. Now, the timeline did collapse a few days ago. It was actually about a week and a half ago. So we are seeing a sort of a shift and now in terms of what timelines are currently collapsing, and we'll get into that. Why is this important? Why should you care? So let's say, where you're at in your life this year, okay? Throughout 2023, did you have certain memories resurface this year that were related to previous years of your life, okay? Maybe the last 7 years, maybe the years before then, your upbringing. And maybe for some of you, that was just a thought that came in the front of your mind. You were brought back to a memory. Maybe something reminded you of that memory. It was a cup of coffee or a scent. Or maybe it was just so random and it was almost like a flashback, like a deja vu of that moment. However, that nostalgia appeared for you from a previous year of your life that had an impact for you, that is an indication of somewhere in the timescape, okay, that there's a healing that's happening or that it will resurface in your life again in some shape or form as a lesson to be healed. Okay, how that appears for you is up to you to decide. You really don't need to think about it that much. I'm just here to share, for those of you that resonate, a little bit better understanding of what's happened the last few weeks and what could potentially happen for many of you, and to kind of put the pieces together, because the spiritual stuff can be very overwhelming, especially when you don't really have all the pieces or you fully understand what's going on in your life. And I get that. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I'm just here to help connect the dots where I can and with when I'm being guided to share those messages. So there was a message around, basically 2015 to 2017 timeline collapsing. A timeline collapse means that enough people on the planet have integrated their healing. They've transmuted that time period. So whatever happened during those years, enough people on the planet did the work. They learned the lesson. They finally got it. Something clicked for them in their mind, and they were able to actually release that. It doesn't mean that they might forgive someone from their time, or it doesn't mean that they're completely 100% healed. I will never say that we will all be 100% healed, but there was some inner work that was done in some shape or form, or a particular lesson that was learned from that time of your life that allowed that timeline to collapse. And it happened to enough people for that timeline to collapse for all of humanity. See, there's two ways to look at it. The first is, we need to realize, okay, I'm being told there's three. So the first is, time is an illusion. Time is a human construct. But on the scape of time out in the ethers, time is something that we connect with in a way where we see it as timelines. And so when a timeline is said to have been collapsed, it essentially means that enough people healed something from that time. And basically that entire timeline no longer has a strong significance to one's life moving forward. They just have the lesson that they take on with them. Okay, people might always resurface from those time periods. That's normal. It doesn't have to be just during Mercury retrograde, but the point is that time is an illusion. It's something that is a man-made construct, but timelines is a larger thing that exists in the ethers that has relevance to the way that we learn lessons and the way that we move through time while we're on the earth. Okay, maybe I'll make another video on that because it's a lot of like quantum physics type of energy we're getting into there. So that's the first thing. Time is an illusion. It's a man-made construct. It basically exists as time, past, present, and future is all happening at once. So when we say a timeline has collapsed, it basically means you could be in the 2023 right now, but something in 2023 you learned has actually impacted the years 2015, 2016, 2017, or any other year in your life for that timeline to collapse. Number two, You can have a timeline collapse for you individually. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen to all of humanity. There's a difference. Number 3, a timeline collapse can be a collective timeline collapse for all of humanity, which is what I'm talking about in this video. So let's reiterate. Number 1, time is an illusion. It's a man-made construct. The past, present, and future is all happening at once. I know, it's a lot to take in. You could think about it, if you resonate with past lives and reincarnation, your past self is still experiencing another incarnation at the same time that you're here in 2023. It's all quantum physics. Number 2, you could have a timeline collapse individually. It doesn't mean that your best friends will have a timeline collapse or your family, but you will not be the only one in the whole planet that will experience that timeline collapse. You might not know who the other people are, and it won't be a collective timeline collapse, but you yourself can have an individual timeline collapse. Number 3, collective timeline collapse. This is what I'm talking about in this video, okay? So for all of humanity, which is actually a really big deal, it means that we're moving in a pace of the collective ascension. It means that a lot of people are awakening, especially with what's happening in the world now between Israel and Palestine. A lot of people are obviously affected by that, just like people were affected during 2020 with the COVID pandemic. So there's an emphasis around this collective timeline collapse that has a huge significance in terms of the way as a whole of humanity is rising in consciousness. It might not seem like that to a lot of you guys, and I get it, because you kind of are like, what are these idiots doing? What are they talking about? How could they resonate with such debauchery? Like, what is this? And I get it. We don't want to judge where other people are at in their journey. Everyone is at a different place and time of their life, right? All we are being tasked to recognize and realize is that we ourselves as individuals, are we doing the work within ourselves to allow these past versions of us from years prior to disappear? Now, the message I received, so I talked about on TikTok, and this was the video that blew up, was about 2015, 2016, and 2017. Those timelines collapsed about, I want to say a week and a half ago, but honestly, you guys, I think I posted maybe 2 weeks ago. It's still kind of circulating, so it's hard to keep up with the time, these days, but no pun intended, but it's interesting because what I received is that time is up. So if there was a particular lesson around that time that you finally learned, if anyone else didn't learn that lesson, the time is up now. Like, they have to be put on a timeline where they are going to be forced to be on the path that they are meant to be on, which means they're going to be forced to learn the lesson because time is up. Now, earlier in the video, I said time is an illusion. It's a man-made construct because the past, present, and future are all happening at once in the timescape of the ethers. But time still has relevance. You can think of it like divine timing. So when divine timing comes around, divine timing is always divine timing, but some people choose free will so much that they fail to choose the right path. They choose to go left instead, and by virtue of choosing their free will, which we all can do, that's why we're here. We have fate, and then we have free will. Fate will always intervene in the end, obviously, but free will is something that you can continue to choose over and over, and sometimes not even learn the lesson you're more than 50% of your life. You could be at age 60 and still not get the lesson because you chose free will so much. It might not click with your mind. It might not click with your consciousness of what's being shown in front of you, but eventually, especially in this day and age, where we're at with humanity, what is meant to happen for humanity, people will be forced, a soft force, okay, a soft little push from the divine to learn the lesson. And so 2017 was a specific year that came through. And this is very significant because what happened in the world at that time was almost mirroring what we're seeing again. I recall around 2017, now I didn't look this up, so someone will have to do the research for me. I don't like to look things up. I like to let it organically appear in my life. But I remember that 2017, if I recall correctly, and 2018, the same thing that's happening with Palestine and Israel now, I'm pretty sure there was an element of that. I mean, it's been happening for the last 50 years to Palestinians, okay? Obviously, the Palestinians have been attacked with no military, no rights, no even access to a lot of the things that we have in the Western world, or that a lot of Israelis have, obviously. But there was another indication of wanting a ceasefire at that time. I'm pretty sure there was a terrorist organization that did occupy Palestine at the time. I don't think it was Hamas. It could have been Hezbollah involved with Lebanon in some shape or form, but I'm pretty sure that they indicated a ceasefire around that time as well. There was something political that happened during that time related to oil. I'm seeing the name BlackRock and purchases, okay? So it's very, very interesting here. Very, very interesting. So we might, some of you guys might have to cross-check that for me a little bit, but I will say that the 2017 collapsing is also on an individual scale for all of us, because even though 2015, 2016, and 2017, those timelines collapsed for all of humanity, I want you to ask yourselves what happened in your life during those times that was pivotal. Every year in your life will be pivotal, you guys. Right now we're in a void period, but 2015, 2016, and 2017, what happened in your life during that time that allowed you to realize something? Some of you guys had your kids during those years. There was over 200 comments of people resonating with those years in their life, memories that had been resurfacing for them recently. And so that is a clear indication of that timeline collapsing. But, I was at work the other day and I was thinking about that timeline collapse video I posted. And all of a sudden I look at the clock, it's 9:33. Then I look up and I see a girl pass by on her shirt and it said "Time's Up." Then I see someone pass by after her with a sweatshirt of a state that I'm actively trying to move to. I looked at the clock, still 9:33, still a synchronicity. Then I looked up again. Everything was back to normal. 20 minutes later, that girl passes by again. Time's up on her shirt. I looked at the clock, 9:55. Fives mean change. Then I look at the computer. I see someone of significance in my life, their birthday, and then I see someone in significance of my life the day that I met them. And then a few minutes pass and I see the same person with that sweatshirt of the state that I want to move to is passing by again. So what that's telling me, and I never like to take the personalized, but Spirit does this and pushes me to channel the message. And it was not until now, I've been meaning to post this for the last few days, but the message is now able to come through because I think it finally collapsed for more people. So some of you guys, maybe more of you guys will resonate with this now than if I had posted this a few days before. But essentially, time is up. Okay, people who have not learned their lessons from particular years does not necessarily have to be 2015 to 2017, but if it were, and if that resonates with you, time is up, and essentially there's going to be a force, a push from God, the Creator, your higher self, and all of those who passed away before you to help you to awaken, okay? There's something that needs to happen around this. Of awakening to your journey, to your mission, why you're here, to let go of people who are not serving your journey anymore, who are actually manipulating your energy, I'm hearing, through magic, okay, but also through hatred, through jealousy, through envy. Those people have got to go. The door is closing on those people now, and you will be made aware of that mirror reflection. Time is up. And it is time for us now, each and every one of you who are watching this video, to choose the next door. You are ready for this. So if you resonate with this message, you are ready for this new door. There's a key that will be presented to you. You will actually get so many signs. I want you to pay attention to what you see around you. We're not overthinking. We're not overanalyzing. Just look. What do you see on the people's t-shirts? What do you see with the time? What do you hear around you? Conversations, if you're somewhere random in public and you hear a conversation, you happen to pick it up. What are you hearing on the lyrics of a song playing on the radio in a public place? Connect the dots. Notice everything, because it is going to be shown to each and every one of you who resonates with this video of this next chapter, this next door that you're walking into. So 2015 to 2017, those timelines collapsed about, I feel it's two weeks ago or so. A week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And right now we are seeing other timelines start to collapse. 2009, 2010, 2011. So 2009, 2010, 2011. Not sure I'm going to make another video about this on TikTok or not, because I'm still dealing with the influx of people that are still commenting on that first video, but I don't know. We'll see if it's really of significance. I'll post it. But that was a message that I got about 2 days ago. 2009, 2010, 2011 is collapsing. So this is a current energy as of this week. So we are seeing fast forward movement. We are seeing a shift in government, in power, in the way that we see power within ourselves and our journeys. And I encourage you all to just be aware of everything. Believe in yourself, and remember, you're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. Your higher self, God, your entire angelic team, spirit team thanks you. Until the next video, go and grow.